guys, welcome to Daisyling Design. Today I wanted to share something a little bit different with you. I wanted to show you a new completed bag that I had made and the inspiration behind it. It's called the Dry St. Vrain Trail Bag, and it is a patchwork of fabrics and techniques and surprise elements here on the back. That's a working pocket. And it was inspired by one of our family's recent hikes that we took. We live in northern Colorado, about an hour from Rocky Mountain National Park, and we do most of our hiking there. But in the summer months, especially since COVID, the park has changed the way it manages flow throughout the park, and so they have this reservation policy that makes it a little bit harder to get in and out of the park. And of course there's more people there traveling since it's one of the country's most popular national parks. So instead of being inside the park in the summer times, we choose different areas around that spot and find different trails to take, and the Dry St. Vrain Trail was one of those hikes. And immediately I was inspired by the surroundings and wanted to put together a bag to reflect our time there. So I'm going to take you along with us through some pictures and videos, and then show you the process of how I put the bag together. So come join me. The Dry St. Vrain Trail is a 3.1 mile, lightly trafficked out and back trail. It's located near Lyons, Colorado, features a river, and is rated as moderate. And the trail is mostly used for hiking. You can see we started there at the dot and then traveled down to the river below. Some of the trail has some coverage from trees and such, so it provides a little bit of shade, but most of the trail is exposed, and so sunscreen is a must. Definitely bring lots of water, and don't pick a 90-degree day to do the trail like we did, because you'll be hot. As you can see from that last little video clip, we had to start at the top and head down. There's lots of wildflowers along the path, but all of your elevation is lost in the trip down to the river. So bear that in mind, because everything you lose going down to the riverbed, you have to gain coming back up at the end of your hike. So be careful. Collected a few pine cones on our trip. They were all over the place on the trail, and some fabrics that represented the colors I saw while we were hiking, and decided to pair those with the inspiration photos I took along our trail and along our walk that just I wanted to bring out in the bag when I put everything together. Picked up some fabric ink, and I've been reading a book called Print Pattern Sew by Jen Hewitt, and wanted to practice some of her techniques in printing the pine cone onto the little piece of fabric. I was able to dislodge one of the spikes, I guess you'd call it, from the pine cone and use it as a print, to make the print as a stamp. I use that as a stamp rather than cutting or fabricating a stamp. I used one of the little burrs from the pine cone itself to use as a stamp to make my printed pine cone on my piece of fabric. And then I made some design elements to represent the flowers along the trail. Added some ribbon to represent the river along the trail, and you can see all the different textures in the fabrics there. Some hand stitching for the stems of the flowers. This is a chain stitch from just basic hand embroidery stitches, and just thought it added another little layer of interest, a little layer of texture to complement all the things that were going on in the bag. And it just tied everything together. And then at the very end, I found some scraps of leaves and ribbon that a friend had sent me in like a grab bag of goodies, and added those as well. And there you have it, guys, the dry St. Vrain Trail Bag, from inspiration and during our adventure to completion. There's those wool leaves I was talking about as part of the grab bag for my friend, and also this vintage ribbon. It's constructed with a long zipper pull tab at the end so that it opens nice and wide. Would be fine and perfect for a sweaters quantity bag. As I mentioned before, the pocket on the back, which is from a jacket that I took apart, is perfect for notions or whatever you might be using with your projects. And the bag is going to be listed in my Etsy shop, and there's only one, so if you're interested in it, you can find the link to the shop below. And I think I don't know, we'll see how this goes. I like the idea of sharing with you my hikes and the ones that inspire projects as a result, and then constructing them and kind of sharing that process with you here. But it all kind of depends on how it's received and whether you're even interested in that. So if this is something you'd like to see more of, please let me know in the comments below. And I'm also trying to put together the idea of a swap with objects that you might have on hand, like the leaves that perhaps you're not going to use anymore, and you'd like to swap it forward, so to speak, to another maker who might want to use those. So if that's something that you might be interested in, also drop me a little line below, and we're going to be putting that out into the world here soon as well. So you all have a great day. Get outside, seek adventure, and tell me all about it. Thanks, guys. Bye.